Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rachach Wadash. Double honor to the elders that rule well, who are the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, men that taught me this truth. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect in Yahweh Shai. Alright, I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson, Lord willing and satisfying. And we got some hot news today, alright? Today's date is January 30th, 2023, the hopeful year that all the prophecies come to pass. And that's what we're seeing, all right? This is from the timesofisrael.com. Iran warns Israel not to play with fire after drone attack on defense facility. All right, so we already know that the biblical Persians are now being called today Iran, and what is called the state of Israel today, or the Israeli state, is really the Edomites, all right, the biblical nation of Edom, in particular the tribe of Amalek, so-called, the small hats, the so-called Jews. They're playing a part in their prophecy. They're not the Israelites. When it speaks about Iran warning Israel and, the whole world, I wouldn't even say the whole world, because a lot of people know that they're not really the Jews, but you got a good part of the people of the world, that believe that these are the Israelites, this is God's chosen people and whatnot. Well, they're not. The real Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And right now, the Lord is getting ready to remove these people out of our land. All right, these Israelis, these so-called small hats, big nose, small hat people, they're getting ready to be destroyed over there in the land of Israel. And that's what the Persians are warning them about, because the Iranians, they have nuclear technology, they have missiles, whether it's not on the same level of America, or it doesn't matter. As long as they have enough missiles, even one missile warhead, to destroy that land, Bible prophecy can be fulfilled. And it will be fulfilled. All right, Bible prophecy will be fulfilled as far as the land of Israel being destroyed, because these people have defiled our land. They have basically stole it from us, because how did they establish the Israeli state? Through the Balfour Declaration in 1945. And ever since they've gotten into that land, it's been nothing but war, which is the opposite of what the prophecy says in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, about the real children of Israel coming back to their land in the latter days. It said there will be no more war on the earth. Well, guess what? We coming into the time of World War III. World War III is Bible prophecy, the War of Armageddon, or in the Hebrew tongue, Harmageddon, which is mountain of troops. All right, and look at this from Yahoo News. Doomsday clock moves closest ever to midnight. It is 90 seconds to midnight. Now, when I looked up the doomsday clock before in the past, they said it was created, or at least the concept was created by the atomic scientists who basically took part in creating the missiles, which then evolved, atomic missiles, which then evolved into nuclear missiles. And that's how this doomsday is going to go down. The doomsday is World War III. Yeah, they factor in the famine and so-called climate change, which is a whole big myth in itself. More propaganda. They put all of that in to estimate these seconds or whatever to midnight, which represents that doomsday, that destruction day, which is what? The day that Yahweh Shai also comes back, the day of the Lord. So we don't go by their doomsday clock. That's the doomsday clock, are the prophecies. And the prophets of the nation of Israel are the ones who Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, pursuant of Amos 3 and 7, have received. Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai have given the understanding of the prophecies, which is a secret, a mystery, to the prophets. So the prophets essentially are the real doomsday clock. When we prophesy these things onto you, we go through the scriptures and tell you that these days are upon us, man. World War III is upon us. This is big news right here, man. Iran warns Israel not to play with fire after drone attack on defense facility. Because let me get this real quick. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. All right, every battle of the warrior, and that's talking about in the ancient world, during the time where these scriptures were written is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. You see hand-to-hand combat, basically. You see men, wrestling, sword fighting, breaking limbs off, chopping limbs off, breaking bones. You hearing all of that. You hearing the battle cries, the warrior cries. And you seeing what? Blood all over the place, because you're getting slashed and cut and, crushed. That's ancient warfare. That's real manly war. That's how wars are supposed to be fought. But it says, but this, what is this that he's talking about? This vision that he's having. Isaiah is a prophet of the nation of Israel. All right, according to Numbers 12:6, that's how you know who the prophet is amongst the people. If the Lord is sending them visions and dreams and speaking to them. So Isaiah is seeing a futuristic war, a modern war. He's saying this war is going to be fought with burning and fuel of fire. So what is that talking about? Nuclear missiles, man. Nuclear missiles. Iran warns Israel not to play with fire. Well, guess what? The land of Israel is going to be destroyed. The land of Iran is going to be destroyed. America is going to be destroyed. America's Babylon the Great. And we see that America, is pretty much Israel's pocket, so to speak. That's a little, I guess that's kind of like an inside joke, if you will. But, America funds Israel, man. The state of Israel, the Israeli state, them small hats over there. America has been defending these people since their inception. And they're pretty much tied to these people, man. This is like one of the only last allies that America has. Because as you're seeing right now, what's happening between the beast and the whore, according to Revelation, the 17th chapter, the beast is going to hate the whore. The beast is talking about NATO and the EU, all right, the European nations. So you see that there's a falling out between the West and the European nations. We're seeing that in the news as well. So all of this is a part of prophecy, man. The 10 toes of that statue is falling apart in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. It's going to lead to what? The great day of the Lord, the day of nuclear war, the day of Armageddon, the second death upon this earth. The first death was the flood. The second death is going to be nuclear war, where not only Iran and Israel and, Russia is going to get hit with missiles. India is going to get hit with missiles. China is going to get hit with missiles. All right. There's going to be fire all over this whole earth, man, because that's a war that the Lord said was going to be fought in these latter days. And let me get something real quick. I believe it's Jeremiah 25. Let me see. Yeah, Jeremiah 25 and 33. Actually, I'm going to start at 32. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. What is that evil that's talking about that's going to go forth from nation to nation? Let me grab this real quick. The King James. Is it the 1611? Yeah. Let's go to 2nd Ezra's, the 16th chapter. Evil shall go forth from nation to nation. This is 2nd Ezra 16, verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp. It's talking about the missiles. All right, it's talking about the missiles. The bow is the silo where the missile is contained in, where it has its coordinates. It's pretty much ready to fire off at any time. The scriptures speak about the nations, how they put themselves in array against Babylon, against America. And that's what you see. You see North Korea, Iran, China, Russia, even, like I said, some of the European nations, we're already seeing they're separating themselves from America, but then soon that's going to turn to aggression towards America. You see these other nations, they constantly threatening Babylon the Great, saying, we'll destroy New York City, we'll shoot a missile and destroy California or whatever, Chicago, Florida. They're always threatening them. That's because they got the bow bended. When you bend the bow, the arrow is basically ready to launch. All right, what does that represent? They got the coordinates already on this place, man. They could tell you how long through the missile drills that they've been doing. They could tell you it would take us 15 minutes if we launched this Vanguard missile from Russia, from mainland Russia to mainland America. It'd only take 15 minutes and your land is destroyed. All right, that's a powerful threat, man. So it said his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, representing what? This technology of these missiles have advanced so much. You know, the sword is being furbished, it's being perfected, right? And in the ancient world, if you had an actual arrow, an actual literal bow and arrow, the sharper your spear tip would be, which is the really the part that hurts, like it even tells you in the prophecy, which represents the warhead for the modern arrow. And I got something after this that's going to back that up. The sharper the arrow spearhead, or the different aerodynamic, or however you want to call it, however they were designed. Some spearheads got 3 points, some of them got 1 sharp point. They design them differently. Arrowheads, well, the sharper the arrowhead, the better accuracy is going to have. The better air velocity is going to cut through the air. It's going to be more aerodynamic, which means what? Like it says here, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. So who the hell is shooting an arrow? Even the strongest archer cannot shoot an arrow into the end of the world. And what, is he going to hit one person? So this is the great war. This is the plagues. If you read from Second Ezra, started from the top, it's talking about mourning. It's talking about bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. How the hell is another part of the world going to be destroyed with a literal arrow? One arrow being shot into the... Come on, man. It's talking about missiles. That's what it's talking about here. Missiles going from one end of the earth to the other, and that's why they call them intercontinental ICBM missiles. All right, ballistic missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. They go from continent to continent, from one end of the earth to the other. Well, Israel, the state of Israel, the Israeli state, the small hats, they have a missile called the Arrow. Check that out. I looked it up. And the reason why I looked it up was because Elder Zakar, all right, Officer Zakar in my camp, he was bringing out how Israel has some type of missile. And I'm going to go back to it, Lord willing, throughout the week. Watch the camp video or whatever. But he pretty much brought out how they got a missile that if anybody shoots missiles at them, they're going to launch this missile. It's kind of like a kamikaze missile. They're just going to destroy everything, which is what they call mutual assured destruction, MAD. So that's definitely going to happen. There will be mutual assured destruction on this earth, because all these different nations, it's not only just Iran and Israel. That's just the root of the war. That's where the war is going to pop off. But this is going to be a world war that's going to be fought with missiles, or like the scriptures call them, arrows, because that is basically a modern day arrow. Nobody's using ancient arrows for warfare no more. They got guns, tanks, and all type of different other weaponry. Nobody's using arrows, but the arrows that they're using are what? Missiles, ICBMs. All right. They also got other missiles. They got a missile called the Jericho. You know what happened with Jericho? When you go into the scripture, I believe that wall fell. I have to go back into the story, but these devils, they're crafty, man. They know the truth on the left-hand side. And they know that there's going to be a world war. Maybe they don't want it to be a world war, or maybe they have expecting that they're going to win and overcome it. No, man, Yahweh Shai is going to come in the midst of this war, cap it off, so to speak. And he got to deliver his elect from this destruction, because they're going to destroy the majority of this planet Earth, man, with this technology, these devils, these so-called white people. That's what they were created to do. All right, let me get that. In the book of, let's go to the blue letter again. I believe that's Isaiah 54:16. Yep. Isaiah 54 verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. It's talking about Yahweh. Yahweh have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. A smith is basically someone who creates weapons of war. Modern war is not fought with swords. Nobody's going to battle on a battlefield in Ukraine with swords in their hand and arrows and and shields in their hand and rushing each other. That's ancient war. That's a thing of the past for this world. Why? Because when you get the understanding, when you go to Revelation, the 6th chapter, the red horse that is speaking about is a so-called white man, Esau. And when you go through the history of Esau, the genesis of Esau, Genesis 27, he was blessed with the sword, man. So the Lord created Esau, the man of the sword, which is also a smith. And we had smiths amongst us. We had, in the ancient world, you had Judah and Gad, warrior tribes and things like that. Reuben. I mean, all the tribes really are warrior tribes, but You had a scripture that speaks about Judah teaching their children about the bow, teaching them how to basically do archery. You know what I'm saying? But when those times are past, man, we in a modern time where the Smiths are basically nuclear physicists, nuclear scientists, the ones who are creating and advancing this nuclear technology in the earth to make it to where, yo, man, if Yahweh Shah does not come and save us, nobody's going to be saved, man. Nothing is going to survive this, man. Because look what it says, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. For whose work? For Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah's work. So this is all prophecy. This is supposed to happen. Knowledge was supposed to increase in the last days. It tells you that in Daniel the 12th chapter. And I have created the waster to destroy. So there's going to be a destruction on this earth, man. Let's go back to Jeremiah 25. It says, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth. And what is that great whirlwind? That nuclear wind. All right, let me get that in the book of Revelation. It said precept upon precept. Is it 7? Let me see something. Yeah, Revelation 7:1. It says an interlude. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. So there's angels that's basically holding back this destruction, because the winds that it's talking about, I'm gonna just click this, I'm gonna eventually get to that, Lord willing. But let's go to Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon. This is prophetic Babylon, America, spiritual Babylon, or mystery Babylon, right? Revelation 17, Revelation 18. And against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. So the Lord said he's going to raise up a destroying wind against Babylon, aka America, and all that rise up against the Lord. So it's talking about this is a nuclear war that's going to happen on the earth. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And then you see the next part of the chapter says the 144,000. That's talking about the governing body of the nation of Israel. That's the elect, beginning, the basically the first fruits of the elect of Israel, the ones that's going to be saved. That's the servants. They need to be sealed. The 144,000 need to be sealed before this destruction could come. So we know that everything with the Heavenly Father and His Son, it tells you that in 2nd Ezra's 14:37, if I'm quoting it correctly, I'm going to paraphrase what it says, that the time is basically measured. By measured have He measured the time, and He does not move nor stir them till the said measure be fulfilled. So everything in prophecy has a sequence. And this is the only reason why this war haven't popped off yet, because we still waiting for the sea hip. All right, Revelation 13 verse 16 through 18 still hasn't come to pass. So remember, those that take the mark, the microchip, they're going to be destroyed in this Third World War. So how could the Third World War come and officially initiate until that thing is mandatory and people have it and they're walking around the earth with it? But also, the destruction is also dependent upon the elect being sealed, man. At least 144,000, and then this thing can move forward. Meaning what? The sea hip will come, and then the World War III will come. The destruction of America, Babylon the Great. So these prophecies, they're also called signs in 2nd Ezra's 9:1. It says, measure the time diligently. How do you measure the time? By the sequence of prophecy. When you understand the sequence of prophecy, you'll know, well, this can't happen yet. So we get very excited when we see this. This is prophecy. I'm going to show you right now. This is prophecy, but this is not World War III. World War III is not going to happen tomorrow. World War III is not going to happen next week, because we still need other prophecies to be fulfilled first. The angels are still holding back this destruction as we speak, according to Revelation 7. So back in Jeremiah, I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to get Jeremiah 49. And the slain of the Lord, Jeremiah 25:33, and the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. That's a direct precept for 2nd Ezra 16:13. His arrows shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the earth. So from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth, you're going to have the slain of the Lord, which is what? The wrath and the indignation of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is the missiles, man. That fire, that nuclear fire, that desolation that the Lord prophesied he will bring upon the earth. The lake of fire is America being burnt up, man. The whole complete land of America, from coast to coast, from sea to sea, is going to look like a part of the ocean is on fire, because in between the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean, you have the continent of North America, and the whole continent is going to be on flames. So it's going to appear as if there's not even a land there. It's just going to look like there's a fire on the water, on top of the water. So the lake of fire, or like Elder Apostle Tahar, he did that video where he was showing that lava is liquid fire. It's going to look like that too, man. Just completely red and inflamed, you know. But it's going to appear as if it's like water or something, man, because like I said, right in between the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean, you have that great continent, that great landmass of North America, where America was established. You know, the United States of America was established. So the Lord's going to do away with this place, man. And how is it going to happen? It's going to be through these little skirmishes and these little, how could I call it? Little provokings, if that's a word, provocations between Israel and Iran. And eventually the other bigger nations, they're going to have to step in, because Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, speaks about how Russia is going to be a guard onto these smaller nations. And one of them that it mentions is Persia, which is Iran. All right, so what are they going to be a guard from or to against America? Because once Israel gets into something, America is going to back them up. All right, and there's a reason for that. Let me finish here. It says, they shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. So that's how many bodies is going to be. You're not going to be able to pick up all them bodies, because it's going to be millions. It's going to be millions, potentially billions of people that's going to die in this war. And this is the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It's written twice. You put the least of the flock, Jeremiah 49 and Jeremiah 50. I'm going to read both. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he have taken against Edom. What does it mean by the Lord's counsel? It means his prophecy, his will. This is the counsel that the Lord has with the angels, Yahushua knows, and the prophets know. This is the counsel. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a conspiracy fact. There is a conspiracy. Conspire means to breathe together. Who's breathing together? Yahweh is breathing into Yahushua and all of his creation. But as far as his counsel, his conspiracy, only the angels and only Yahushua, the angels and the elect know that. All right, this is his counsel. He have taken against Edom. Who's Edom? The so-called white man. All right, in particular, the small hats is going to tell you that, and his purpose, that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. We know that Teman goes back to the wisdom of Edom. All right, when you go to other precepts, it speaks about that. That's supposed to be the wisest tribe out of Edom. And who is that today? The Germans. Now, if you know the history of these small hats and the Khazarians and all of that, you would know that a lot of them come from Germany. They come from Germany, from Poland, and from other parts of Europe, the Caucasus Mountains, of course, you know, which is South Georgia, Russia. But the Temanites in particular, being them Germans, they're the ones that actually created this nuclear technology. All right, and they're going to they're a part of the beast, and they're going to play a big part in this third world war. You see, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who? Draw who out? The Edomites, the rest of the Edomites. Because again, the least of the flock, or Teman, would just be one tribe. Well, the least of the flock is really Amalek, but that's another tribe. You got the tribe of Amalek of the nation of Edom, and you have the tribe of Teman of the nation of Edom. You got the dukes of Edom. I think that's Genesis 36, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be the least of the Edomites, the smallest of the Edomites, the most irrelevant, if you will, or I wouldn't even say irrelevant, but the smallest ones, you know, the most insignificant ones out of them, the scum of them, that's going to draw the rest of them out into this war. And it's really going into America, because that's why I got the precept, which it reiterates in Jeremiah 50, Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. How habitation is going to be made desolate? Let's go into that word desolate real quick. How does a habitation become desolate, man? H8074, I let it play.
Strong's H8074. Shamaim. Shamaim.
I believe that's Shama, if I'm not mistaken, in the Hebrew. We'll have to go check what this character is, but it says to be desolate, or be appalled, stunned, stupefied. Damn, that's a heavy word, stupefied. To be desolated, deflowered. Oh, well, the scriptures speak about Isaiah 47. It speaks about the virgin daughter of Babylon. It talks all about its destruction. So that America is going to be deflowered by this Third World War, because America is the virgin daughter of Babylon, which means it's never seen war. It's never really tasted of a real war, of a destruction, like so. You see, like a desolation, or it says astonish, desolation, waste, destroy. See that? Be deserted, and that's when you get a desert from it. America is going to become a desert, according to Revelation 18. That's what Apostle John saw on the island of Patmos. He saw nothing but desert creatures dwelling in America. No more men. Why? Because it got destroyed. It said Babylon is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, so on and so forth. You know, of every unclean and hateful bird, vultures, and all type of abominable animals are gonna dwell here after the destruction. But that's pretty much it. To cause oneself ruin, to lay desolate. Let me just see what it says, like regular definition. Deserted of people and in a state of bleak and dismal emptiness. Damn, bro. Damn. See? Deserted of people. Hey, no man shall inhabit this land. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Gotta go back. Oh, wait. What did I do here? Okay, yeah, I wanted to hold that. Let's go to this tab. What was it? Isaiah 13, I believe. The end of Isaiah 13. Isaiah 13:1, the burden of Babylon, America, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. At the end. Verse 19, Isaiah 13:19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. Talking about what? The Chaldees were the ancient witches of ancient Babylon. All right, and just as you have this mystery Babylon, or modern prophetic Babylon, which is America, you have modern day Chaldeans, or modern day witches and warlocks, which is going into what? The international bankers, man, and the lesser luminaries underneath them, that they pretty much built this place up. This is the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, America, the glory of kingdoms. Everybody wants to come to America, but guess what? Not very soon, because it says this Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So how did the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah? You got to go back to Genesis 19, if I'm not mistaken. It tells you the Lord rained fire and brimstone from heaven. Now check this out. I brought out this missile earlier, right? Israel, they have a missile called the Arrow, right? Which is spiritual, but guess what? They also have a missile called Brimstone. Check that out. They got a missile called Brimstone, bro. So come on, man. Let me see. Is it on Wikipedia? Oh no, that's the place is in the United Kingdom. Well, same shit, man. Those are more Edomites anyways. But yeah, they got a missile called Brimstone, man. Check that out. So just as the Most High, where was I? Let me see. Isaiah 13. Just as the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone, well, he's going to overthrow America, Babylon the Great, with fire and brimstone, but in the form of missiles. Because you have a missile called Brimstone. And a fire not kindled shall destroy his habitation. It tells you that in Job the 20th chapter. So the Lord's going to destroy this land by fire. That's the point. He's going to judge America. It says, for strong is his right hand that judgeth her. And he's going to judge her by fire in Revelation 18. It shall never be inhabited. See, it's not going to be habitable by men, because when we went back to that word desolate, right? It said this can't be inhabited. It's non-inhabitable. All right? Let's go back there. So it shall never be inhabited by men, by people, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. So forever is going to be laid a desert forever. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. So no business, nothing's going to be going on over here. It's going to be a land for animals. That's it. For animals to dwell in. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. See, so all type of unclean beasts, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So that's what we're seeing. It's not being prolonged. You see the doomsday clock. You see the prophecies in the news. You see the Lord putting the spirit on these devils to make these stupid decisions, which in their mind is not stupid. They have a plan. But they get ensnared, man. They have a plan, but what they're doing is falling into the plan of the prophecies of the Lord, the counsel of Yahweh, which again, Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon. It's the same thing it just said in Jeremiah 49, but it's saying it again in Jeremiah 50. So that shows you that Edom is directly linked with Babylon. And this is an end time prophecy. Because when ancient Babylon, it was never destroyed, first of all, but when it was overthrown, all right, the Edomites wasn't in power. They had nothing to do with that. It was the Persians and the Medes. Yo, man, this language is so silly, man. But yeah, it was the Persians and the Medes that overthrew ancient Babylon. Really, it was just the Medes, actually. It wasn't even the Persians. They weren't a part of that kingdom yet, because the Medes were greater than the Persians in their rulership. But they also did, eventually combine power and had a joint rulership with each other. Two heathens, the Japhites and the Persians, which are the Iranians today. And guess who's in the land of the Medes today? Russia. They are a little bit north than the land of the Medes, but they're taking place, as far as prophecy is concerned, they are taking that seat of being the Medes. And guess who they're allied with? The Persians. And guess who the Persians and the Medes are going to destroy in this time? There's no new thing under the sun. They're going to take over America, Babylon. But this time it's going to be completely destroyed. It's not going to be overthrown in the form of, it's going to be absolved into their kingdom, because that's what the Medes did. They just took over the land and took over the resources, but they didn't destroy anything. It wasn't a physical war in which people were dying, and they did kill people. Let me not say that. People did die, but it wasn't a full-out war to see who's going to win, to see who conquers who. They just got overthrown. They just rolled in on them in one night while they was all drunk and merry, and they took power. This counsel, that these prophecies that we read about in Jeremiah 49, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, Isaiah 13, ancient Babylon wasn't destroyed like that. Ancient Babylon today is modern day Iraq. All right, when you do, look at the geography, is modern day Iraq. That land is still inhabited. There's people there. Again, it was never destroyed. All right. So this is the counsel that the Lord have taken against Babylon and his purposes, that he have purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. See, it said the Temanites, then it said the Chaldeans. So you could compare the two, because the Chaldeans, they were the wise men of ancient Babylon. Why? Because they were witches and warlocks. Just like these small hats, these international bankers, man, they're witches and warlocks, and they got people under them. They got more witches and warlocks under them that give them counsel, right? And they all counsel with Satan. But this is what the Lord is going to do to you people, man. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So America and Israel are both going to be destroyed. This whole so-called white man's kingdom as a whole is going to be destroyed. All right. Now it says the least of the flock, right? There's a precept for that. Jeremiah 49. Hold on. Jeremiah 49 and 15. Actually, I got to start up. I mean, it's the same thing as Obadiah. I could just read Obadiah as well. All right, but I like how it says it here, Jeremiah 49 and 15. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen. I got to start up. Because let's see if there's a footnote. Prophecy against Edom. See, the Edomites. Concerning Edom, verse 7. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? So it's telling you that these people are not, with all their so-called wisdom and knowledge of wickedness, on the left-hand side, with all these all this technology they got, all this weaponry they got, the Lord's still gonna destroy you. So it's like, what did your wisdom do for you? Is there no more wisdom? You don't know how to deal with this? Do you not know, you can't escape this? No, because this is the counsel of the Lord. It says, for I have sworn by myself, verse 13, saith the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be a perpetual waste. So shall be perpetual waste. So Basra is dealing with the capital of Edom in the ancient world, the physical land of Edom, but it's talking about the people. It's talking about their capital cities, everything, man. The Lord, he said in Ezekiel 35, he's going to lay your lands waste, desolate, all your lands, all your power, all your rulership. The Lord sworn by himself on his own life, which he liveth forever. That's his name, Yahweh, right? He live, or he to be, he exists. The Lord swore on himself that he was going to destroy you people, man. I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador sent on to the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her, and rise up to the battle. All right, so all these heathen nations outside of Edom, and even within Edom, Edom is going to fight against Edom, Satan against Satan. But all these nations, they're going to rise up against you, man. And they already are doing that, but they're going to physically do it by the way of aiming and launching their missiles upon this place, man. America and Israel and Russia and the UK. All right, all over the world, wherever you devils at, wherever you have your strongholds and your bases set up, is all going to be destroyed. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. So again, that's mainly talking about Amalek. But all you Edomites are small. You're small, you're insignificant. All right, in the grand scheme of things, you're just fulfilling your part of prophecy right now. That's the only reason you in power. But in the grand scheme of things, you're insignificant. You're the basis of men. And you're literally small in the form of your population numbers, you know, your reproductivity. You people are small. You have a very small percent of the population. Look at China. They got billions over there, man. Look at India. All right. Look at America, 350 million. And most of the 350 million are are Israelites and the other nations. It's not you. Your numbers are dwindling, man. And you're despised among men. All these people want to destroy you damn small hats, man. All these nations can't wait to destroy you small hats, man. You're despised among men. The Lord's putting the spirit, he's stirring up the spirit of these other nations to wage war against you, man, to get ready to destroy you people. That's the counsel of the Lord. All right? And that's going to be your end all be all on this side. After that, you're going into captivity, man. You're not going to be risen back up again. You're not going to ever rule again. You're going into captivity under the nation of Israel, because after this third world war, Yahweh Shai is coming to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth and fix everything that you fucking messed up, man. All right, with his elect, with the 144,000, the government of Israel, that's going to be established on the earth, man, after this destruction. So you people are done, man. You could kiss your shit goodbye. You know, you don't have a kingdom no more. This place is getting ready to be destroyed. Iran warns Israel not to play with fire. Because what do they say? Don't play with fire, because you're going to get burnt. And you people are going to get burnt. The third part of men is going to be destroyed through this third world war, through this nuclear war, through this fire. All right, so with that, I'm going to say, Call halal, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Basham Rakak Wadash. Hope and pray you sincere Akim and Akwaf will edify through the Holy Spirit. And Lord willing, I'll see you in the next lesson. Shalom.